I make these works not because I am afraid that I'll get older and feel like these things are lame. Uh, I do it so I won't actually be lame. So I can actually say this is what I believed in at the time. I don't want to go into the future and have to lie or make up what my feelings or opinions are based on the that time's acceptance of things. I think that it shows how much more I've grown. It's cool to have evidence. It shows that you stand for something. To recognize what you once were and your opinions, see where they were based in and grounded on. And it's cool to see how much you've grown, how far you've come. And it all started with a single step. You can then trace it back to, is this where it started? Yeah, this is where it started. And this and that was my middle point, and that's when I became more advanced with it, and that's why I just keep it at this is the level. And is there something harder, faster, something more advanced? Sure. I see a lot of people. They I used to look at vines, and I could tell which ones were having fun and which ones were trying to make business. And I can always see when people push it to its limits. I see the not only with Viners but all social media creators, as any person, that if you're just in it for the money, well then the money is what you'll get. But there's like a love, like to see acknowledge somebody, and then to just move on. Like I don't look at old Viners and wish for them to come back. Like some of them, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they made me laugh. I hope they're doing good. Like if they were to come back, they couldn't make me laugh like they used to anyway. Like if I want to laugh at their old jokes, I'll just rewatch the video. I think that that's the beauty of humor. That it's like I took a piece of it with me, but I didn't make it my whole personality. And you could see how they were writing trends too. They lived that life, so I didn't have to. Like, I think that people take the joy out of content creating by making it business. There's not an advancement. It's just milking everything dry and then leaving it nothing. Now you have grown adults pandering to children. You got people talking about some chat. What is this? And it's not bad to have that. It's not bad to say those things. It's just you clearly tell that this is a money game. This is like you don't have any personal connection. It really shows how much someone really loves doing something when they choose to walk away. Because like there's a level of growth that people need to have. I feel like if you're always in the same position, um, you'll never get to experience and re-experience that love because you'll just be pandering. I I don't want to pander to anyone, but I also don't want to stay necessarily at the same positions. That's why I take the risk of doing things how I feel that they should be done, being honest, being raw, expressing my emotion. Because it's like, at the end of the day, there will be a time where I look back and I say, yeah, I was in a really dark place. And I was in a bad time. And I didn't start it with a fake smile. I did the best I could every single day. I improved. Um, that's what makes me special. Like, I don't need to fake myself for others' approval. I do it because I like it. So, I also don't miss the old me because he's still in me. The old me, I think I'm bored of the old stuff. At some point, you see the nostalgia, you see the games, you see the old way your body looks or feels. One thing that for me, getting shot has really done is it made something very permanent where I couldn't deny um, the events that happened. There's not a time where my body wants to go back to. I made so much progress that it would be a shame to go back until when I was like 20. I so many years. I got shot in 2021. It's almost 4 years since I got shot. And even more so, that was a whole different person. I told my girlfriend I would get shot 1,000 times well, okay. I didn't say that. I said that I would continue to, like, I wouldn't change getting shot to meet her when I did. And I mean that. If I choose not to get shot, it's not because I'm going to be inherently better. Like, even if you could take my old self, put it back, and I knew all of these things, I would have to do everything correctly, and I won't. The beauty about being in a relationship with my girlfriend is because I get to grow with her organically. I think that people lose that in a relationship or don't really realize that's the fun part of the relationship. It is a bit awkward, it's strange, it's uncomfortable, and you grow to kind of, be comfortable, but you never quite understand it. It's never like this perfect thing um, because you're two growing beings. If you figure something out, then there's no reason. Like, it's a puzzle that you just kind of leave and you take a picture of and you solve the puzzle. It's the same as the cover of the box. But a puzzle that you work on together, even if you solve it, then there's a deeper puzzle. It's like who did what, who did the majority, like an argument. It's, hey, don't move this puzzle. Hey, let's do another puzzle. Let's do an easier puzzle. Let's do a harder puzzle. The arguments, the bickering, because it's not hateful. It just, ironically, it's something that I talk about a lot, semantics. It's just, you get caught up in just nothing because you fill the room with just your voice because it just feels nice. It feels like it's just that. And me, I don't want to go, again, I don't want to go back and then have all of this knowledge and have my leg. And I sit there and try to manufacture a conversation to meet my girlfriend and talk to my girlfriend and know all these things, even if I conveniently forgot a lot of things. The person that I was might not have been bad, but might not have been, isn't who I am. I grew. See, the person that I was before I got shot was, didn't have just completely positive traits. Like, I got shot not only because the guy had shot me, but because of my own actions and inactions. Yeah, did I pull the trigger? No. Am I holding all of the accountability? No. But there was a role that I played. No matter how minuscule it is, you could say 2% or 5%. Doesn't matter. Now, I have to hold that for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, maybe I don't hold all the accountability, but I still hold all of the consequence. Well, the consequence still of my not doing that. and that is life. Now I'm aware that small details are important, and that's what made me the man I am today with my girlfriend. See, that couldn't happen. Even if I had it, it wouldn't be instilled in my body. You think that just because you know something, it instills into you? I recognize like my body. I built it. I'm a martial artist. I'm a fighter. You can't build that by just looking at it and saying, I want to be a boxer. You know what I see all the time when I witness people going and getting into the gym, putting on gloves, and hitting real hard? I don't see a boxer. I see people with anger, with pain, and just wanting to put that pain onto others. They're projecting all that anger and pushing that in there. And I say, you know, I don't think it's healthy. I never thought it was healthy. I never thought like people pushing that as a healthy mindset. It makes me feel like boxing is a butcher's game, or there isn't any beauty. But I thought about it with dance and technique. Yes, there's a fierceness, but there's love in it. It's a way that it's like sex. It's exactly like sex, a dance, a move, anticipating your partner, grabbing them close, pushing them away, rough and tumble. You know that it's the male way of having sex without having sex. It feels dopamine and serotonin, and you really get a feel and connect for people when you touch someone, when they touched you. You could sense, you could tell how they are, how they treat their body, why they do what they do. Like there's an understanding of bloodlust, and I say that those that go to simply hurt another is eventually going to hurt someone. They're going to get what they want. They with all that strength, with all that power, it's not that they're um, never going to use it. They're going to be so amped, so ready to use it that they're going to look for danger and then find it. They might say it's um, unconscious, but it would have came. That's why me getting shot was eye opening. Yes, some things I was trying to be preventative, but I was being reactionary. I was following no one and anyone in particular. I got a gun because I thought that's what made you a man and made you safe. That very same gun harmed me. And I have to sit there and think about that. I sold the gun to a man who had shot me. And I'm going to think about it years after this as well. I'm going to think about it years and remind myself how far I came, how that struggle still is probably with me then. But maybe, just maybe, a little less painful. And the only reason, it's never not going to be painful. But I think that it makes it easier to swallow when you eat it with something else. Like that decision, though greatly painful, is healed and scabbed over because I have children. I have a woman that loves me dearly. I have a person in my life that loves me and cares for me. That for the first time in my life that I was able to look back at the past and walk forward. When I hear people still stuck in the past, I don't I don't get angry, I don't get mad, I don't get sad. I say I wish you well on your journey if I can't do anything to help. But I tell everyone that hey, you could look at the past all day, but the future and the present's still here. And if you're not focused on your present, there is no future. So you keep looking to the past. You keep looking until you got your fill. You keep looking until there's nothing else. But don't preach about the future. Don't preach about the present when you're not present to do anything. You know, I see I see people talk about like what's next. They want to go back. They want to go back. They want to go back. And then I guess it's no shock to me that we keep going back. Think about it. I want to go back to old YouTube. And then they pick what old YouTube was. People screaming, people making fake content. When I look back at those old YouTube videos, anything, I see so much. The things that were most popular were the most artificial and the most fake. Some of it was interesting, but like when I remember what I was watching in old YouTube was like TV shows, like streaming. That was streaming before streaming. I got to watch full episodes of Naruto and different TV shows and just whatever was uploaded. Yeah, and then you had all the racism, which is still there. The dog whistles, the N-word passes, the pranks gone wrong, still there. Then you have the trolling videos, like the Call of Duty. I'm teasing and abusing and bullying children for other children, and then most times they're fake. Their videos like they probably just paid a child or got their niece or nephew to just scream in a mic and just be loud and obnoxious. Cause like I sit there and ask myself, eh, reality. Reality is, as Thanos said, often disappointing, but it's only disappointing because you want to deny it for this delusional state, this world that isn't real. Like you want to play and imagine all day, and then when you get exactly what you imagined, it doesn't even fill you with the dopamine because you were too busy in your head dreaming about this, and it was filling you with your dopamine every day. And now that you actually have it, you wasted all your shots, your dreams, your ambitions and goals into something in your head. Like I say that if I really thought about it, the kids that were on those trolling videos should just got off. There shouldn't have been any trolling videos. Like they most likely, like anyone smart or what we should be applauding is like the kids that saw something like a grown adult, being strange to them, trolling them or talking weird to them, just getting upset and then just saying, you know what, I'm done with the game and just quitting. Like we used to clown at rage quitters, but I say that was the smartest move. Then you have people glorifying and glamorizing kids cursing and thinking, yeah, it's good to make fun of them so other kids know not to curse. Is that really? That just reality. Reality is a blessing for those that accept it. when you recognize that, sure, it's not how it was portrayed in this fantasy. Thank God it isn't. Thank God it's not that sugary and bright colors. I'm glad that my eyes have gotten older, old enough to turn it down just a little bit, just so the noise doesn't pierce my head anymore. I've grown tired of playing like I'm not gonna get older. And I've seen what great pain does to people. And I say that there are ways out of this. That the reason that I'm upset, the reason why I make these works, is not because there's nothing that could be done, but because I've seen things being able to be done. I'm not a non-rational man. I wouldn't be here if I was illogical, unreasonable. I think that myself a fool if I allow society to trick me into thinking in this one case I've become unreasonable. Every other thing I am tolerable and allow all of these misfortunes and bad things to happen in my life. Not even misfortunes, but direct malicious actions, and I tolerate them because they're possibly a way to remedy and at the long run I would have a an easier time. I can make up for it. But that's not true. What I recognize now is that I am reasonable. I have been reasonable. And now the only time that I'm pointing it out and the only reason that there's a problem is that I continue to point out others' unreasonable nature. Like I say that if I couldn't go to, I know things that have helped my pain with my leg. I know things that have made me feel comfortable. I know things that have soothed me. And I've been pretty good on just like exercising, eating right, sleeping right. Okay, maybe not the sleeping right, as you could tell how tired I am. So many things, interesting adventures, going to school, owning my own house, all these great things. So when I go to the conclusion, hey, I need to go to a massage parlor daily, I don't think these drugs are really curing anything. Like I'm taking all these painkillers and the pain's still there. Like, oh, you just need stronger painkillers. Like I said, no, I think I like maybe they can help, but I want to try it this way. No one ever just like says, let me just give you the money and see if you're right. Will this cure your pain? Like I like going to massage parlors. I like going uh, to art museums. But you know what I also like? Going to work and then saying, you know what, I don't want to do overtime. I don't want to stay late. I like doing a part-time job and having enough money to go. Yeah, I could still eat, still pay my rent on time, still do things. Like, I think the reality is that I'm not cut out to be a content creator. I'm not cut out to be a CEO or a businessman or even a professor or a doctor in philosophy, at least not yet. I think the honest truth is that I'm a part-time worker type guy. I'm a janitor. I'm a person with a job that doesn't really get that much glamour that really shouldn't. And that's because I'm too busy focused on my family. I don't need to be loved or praised by others. And I think that it becomes lame. I think that honestly, truly getting up every day when you're in your 30s or I'm not saying just in your 30s, but I don't want to be perceived all my life. Like I do. Sometimes I want to hop in and hop out, but like when I don't feel like hopping in, I shouldn't. And I already have mental health issues. I think that even if I gain some prominence, that's only gonna make it worse. Now I'm gonna feel more anxious and more depressed. Like I feel like I should just work at a janitorial job or just something easy, just stocking, and I should just get paid enough. And then like when I feel better, I can come back and be like, yeah, I feel like doing this. Because like the reality is when I look back at my work, or if I ever if someone decides to look at my work, I don't want them to see such heavy ranges. I would rather them see me every 2 months happy, filled with energy, writing something good, than seeing me every week, every day, every whatever with a talent agent and social media guidance and a makeup team. It doesn't feel like I grow. That's why I see when I watch people. I hear their voices, but I don't see them grow. I hear them say the same things, and it's like you become like a loser. Without being able to grow, without doing anything any better, without me knowing like the personal problems in your life, and only when you're at the extreme edge do you tell me. When you're at the moment of breaking down, it expects too much, it demands too much of me to develop this sympathy right off whim. Like I don't stay. It's like you didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me this before, but now, and now I have to figure out, is that what's the mood? What's the next step? Um, I think that it shows that we're not friends, because a true friend would either tell you, or you would already know. You could already see, hey, this person's been going through a tough time. You know that I wouldn't get mad at you for taking a break, because I need breaks too. I think social media has really shown, like it shows, but it doesn't really make you feel. You become so detached because like there's so many things I just wanted simple, like someone's touch. But a YouTube video, you can put an ASMR, and it can kind of try to fill the void if you have a strong enough imagination. But at some point, you need the real thing. And then when you actually have the real thing, it's awkward. It it's like, this is what I wanted, but it's I didn't realize all the other things. When you have a girlfriend, when you have someone that you love in your life, you the easiness, the convenience of clicking a video. You could click a video in a dirty room or a clean room. It doesn't matter. But now that you have a person, everything matters. Things that you didn't even notice for a long time. Like your hair, the length of your beard, the drinks that you drink, the way your breath smells, the way you spit when you talk. Things that are of you, they start to come to light. And when you're not, when you never really think about those things, when they're just normal to you, and a person comes into your life and they start to tell you all of these things, when you've been ignored so long, then it becomes this heavy backlog of, did do other people perceive me like this? How long have I been doing that? And it can be quite embarrassing. Like me, I spit when I talk, but I don't always recognize it, especially if I talk too fast. It's nothing that I do on purpose, but it can be managed. I could pay attention to it more. And I probably have done it to someone who just didn't tell me. Not because they were trying to spare my feelings, but it wasn't convenient enough. We weren't close enough. And it was something that they may joke about in private, but they would hug me and they would laugh with me. But that's why I mean that just because someone hugs you and laughs with you and tells you great things about yourself or tells you some sad news, will they get angry at you? Will they be annoyed at you? Would they sit there and wait until you get it right? Will they hold you to something? Show a form of discipline. Really make sure whatever you're learning, whatever they're willing to teach you, that they've devised a way that they know could help you. I'm far too tired. I'm yawning. I guess I should end it. I always talk until I can't really do it anymore. And the reason I do it, past the whole PTSD and just staying alive, I do it because I feel that is my word. That I speak until I can't. Until every last breath, every last idea, every thought that I think can improve the world is spoken out of my head. I have all of eternity to speak nothing, but so short in a life to speak all the words that I think. These are the words that I use to convey who I am. I'll say every word that comes to my mind that I think in my head, because when I die and I am floating in the aeons of eternity, if I turn into nothingness, if I can only think about myself and what I have done, and I will linger on every word that I spoke. If I am nothing but just simple thoughts, and only can remember what I once was, what I once did, the small amount of years that I had lived, the blip, I'll recreate myself. I'll recreate myself and others and everyone in my mind. I will turn thoughts into humanity. For that is what I think. That if it all becomes a dream, then I'll dream it into reality. That I'll make sure that I had a conversation with everyone and try to put every word, every face that I've ever seen and recreate the world. That's why I choose to speak to people. For I feel like when you die, it's neither heaven or hell. It's only hell if you didn't like the world. It's only heaven if you love the world. I feel that me, if I don't believe I'm on the scale of God. But if God were to ask me to create a world or think about it, to create my own version of heaven from scratch, who would be in it? And in order to have people in it, you must speak with them, talk with them, know them, love them. You will have to know who you like and who you dislike. simply just saying that I want people in my world. Who? Would a racist put a black man in his world? Would they even think to? Would in their hearts, how many people, real people, would they know, would they continue to keep in their life? And how many people would come and visit them in that so-called heaven if they could be anywhere else with anyone else? See, I like the idea, and I know that I am my girlfriend's first and only choice. It feels nice to be chosen. But I had to earn and work to be chosen. I had to choose as well. That was a consensual thing. See, I think that if I were to show her my heaven, I would want her to not only show myself, to be able for her to see how my life was, but so she understands why it was this way, why I fought so hard, what things that I imagined, what dreams did I have, what things did I aspire for, what music did I hear, songs that no one could even think of. You know, in my head, I seen things, creations of my own mind. That's why I try to write them down and spread them to the world. But even if no one did, I take solace in this one fact. I thought it, so it exists in this world. For I exist in this world. Yes, you could try to slay me. You could try and bury me, but the words that I said have always been said. That in this book of life, that even if I cannot write down with these hands what I have spoken, it is already written down in my book of life. The pages, the story, I am the best writer there. I don't need to, yes, would I like for others to read the work now? Sure. It makes me feel good. But if those do not understand the words and the stories and the works and the thoughts and the ideas now, I'd hope that they take solace in understanding that when they read the book of me, they'll see those stories too, the things that I couldn't even begin to tell them about. The love, the pain, and the grief. And you know the greatest sin, the hell that other people will experience? They will see their names and know it is them, and they will see their actions. And they're not going to see a man angry or bitter. They're going to see a man upset. They're going to see a man who strives, who tries, who cared, who still cares. A man that could not be broken by them, even though they had tried. Through all of their trials, their actions, through the years, it couldn't break me. See, I'm not saying that a man can't ever break. I know that I could break. I've broken many times. But can you really break what never has form in the first place? What do you really expect of it? There's no image that I really align to. There's no view that I have. Even my own leg is something that if it's taken off of me, it doesn't mean that I'm any less me. It doesn't mean that that leg stops being mine. It just becomes another chapter, another version, another look, an alternate fit. whether the story plays out with or without my biological leg, it has heavy points, but at the same time can be really irrelevant. I guess I need to stop yawning. I need to go to bed. The only reason I was up is because I'm in Australia and I'm waiting until it is time for my girlfriend to wake up. And my girlfriend wakes up late, so I'll stay up late. I love her dearly. I'd wait until the ends of the earth. I I didn't even know. I was waiting for her even when I was dying. Before I even knew her, I was waiting for her. That's the only reason I was here. I questioned why I even continued to live. But when I saw her, it all makes sense. And it made sense perfectly. With that being said, I am done.